Hello, gorgeous souls. Thank you so much for choosing to share space to connect with me today over a pick a card reading. Welcome, especially if you are brand new, a recent subscriber. There has been an increase in numbers that I have seen lately, and it is so exciting and means the world to me. So if you are, as I said, new energy here, thank you so much. Appreciate you and hope you stick around and enjoy the reading today. We are going to be taking a look at a variant of your person's feelings, how they're feeling about you. We're going to extend that to include how they're currently feeling about the connection, and further take another step and actually look into how they're feeling about the current state of the connection. So I like to broaden it to that, both broaden it, but also, intend the energy to be that detailed, because I think it's important to consider that a person's feelings for you emotionally may differ from how they're feeling practically speaking about the way that the current connection is going and flowing, the current state of connection that you are in, whether that is disconnect, separation, no contact, a breakup energy, or if things are going wonderfully. Either way, this is going to just take a look at a snapshot of how your person is feeling specifically about not only you, but about the greater kind of grander scheme of things of what is going on in the connection currently. I have a beautiful crystal, sort of a grid energy with hearts for you guys. Hopefully you enjoy that. And then 3 piles for you to choose from today. Pile 1 is going to be the Lonely Ice Tarot with the Aura Coated Quartz point. Pile 2 is the Tarot de Carlotydes, an absolute favorite, with the Lepidolite. And pile 3 is the Lucine Tarot. This is the Twilight edition with the Rose Calcite. Go ahead, reflect over whichever pile is drawing you in. Check the timestamps below if you need to, and I'll meet you over at your pile in a moment for your reading. Hey, pile 1. I'm so happy to have you here today. You chose the Lonely Ice Tarot, a beautifully independently created deck. And we are taking a look at how your person is currently feeling, not only about you, but about the current state of the connection. So regardless of the energy between you currently, wherever things stand, we're going to take a look at how your person is feeling about it. Go ahead and first and foremost, set your intention for this reading, as I have before deciding to do it. You want to just create the intention that you are open and receptive to whatever is going to present forth from Spirit for you today, that you can take in those messages. And while you do that, also select a sign as well if you feel called to do so. I think you're pretty familiar with that process of what you need to do to select a sign, something meaningful to you that will just help you to validate and affirm, kind of anchor those messages as true for you when you receive them. And let's jump in and get started right away. We're beginning with the tarot. We already have a jumper here. We have the 10 of Wands coming out. I'm going to pull Oracle next. Lots of decks to be used today, but I want to go ahead and first get a quick sort of capture of the current energies between you, where things stand, so that you can get some context clues for reference about the situation to make sure you've chosen the right pile. What is going on between pile 1 and their person of interest in their connection? What is currently going on in this connection, Spirit? We have the 10 of Wands, the 2 of Wands, so lots of active energy here. 7 of Wands, not necessarily productive action though. And the 8 of Coins, 8 of Pentacles, clarifying these energies. We have the Ace of Cups. There's difficulty allowing this connection to flow is what I'm getting. There's a lot of potential here, a lot of love here, but this person's feeling held back, burdened, overwhelmed in some cases, having difficulty making a decision. Yeah, for some of you, this person has a third party with this Queen of Wands energy. We also have the Empress on the bottom. Again, another reference to sort of 2 divine feminine energies. We have the Queen of Spirit, and then, of course, the divine feminine herself with the Empress. But it's looking like there's a choice to be made here between you, which you potentially could be this Queen of Wands or the Empress, depending, and a family unit, perhaps something established that's concrete and set already, and it's foundational in their life, this person's life, with the 2 of Wands clarified by that 10 of Pentacles energy. That's the energy of contentment, abundance, material fulfillment. it's like there's so much potential here. There's a really big amount of love that's ready to flow, but this person just cannot bring themselves to kind of begin that process and take that leap of faith, have that new beginning. They're resisting it actually quite heavily and intensely, in fact, with the Seven of Wands clarified by the Fool. And then we also have the Eight of Pentacles with that Queen of Wands presenting. The Eight of Pentacles indicates focus. And in this case, I'm thinking even distraction, like not dedicating the necessary time and energy to invest in the connection. Again, because I think there is a third party circumstance or situation that is involved. Now, it's something that I think you would be well aware of and that you would know about if you don't happen to and it's not feeling right for you that this is your situation. No worries, there are 2 other piles and also lots of other readings with similar subject matter that you can feel free to peruse if this is not currently speaking to you in your energy. But I'm just going to take a moment to get these centered before we continue. That's important to me. No one's really complained about it thus far, but it's always going to be something that I do. In fact, let's go ahead and do this so that you can see all of the titles here. Your person is definitely feeling very energetically stuck, kind of frozen in place. And it's almost like I'm just going to focus on the things I can control, which I'm getting with that Eight of Pentacles energy. Eights in tarot relate back, of course, to the major energy of strength. Strength being about control and being measured, having resilience. And I just think this person is really focusing on their independence right now and the things that they want to achieve in life, perhaps because, quite frankly, their personal life, their romantic life is a mess. Okay, so let's go ahead now and see how your person is feeling about the connection, the state of the connection specifically. How are they feeling about the current state of the connection with pile 1, please? Justice. We also have the Emperor. This is striking me as a need to be right. The Lovers, once again, we have there that element of decision that's involved, but big love as well for you, pile 1. And we have Death. We'll get clarifiers, no worries. We'll also get some oracle out on the table as well. For the Justice energy, we have the King of Pentacles coming out. For the Emperor, we have Temperance. So this person, even though they're not focusing currently on the connection, I do think that they want to do right by you and they want to make things better between you is what I'm getting. Temperance is such a beautiful love energy. It's the energy of alchemy, of blending and merging and balancing, and just achieving like a really nice state of harmony between you. We have the Seven of Cups clarifying the Lovers. So remember how I said this, referencing a choice. This person is kind of mulling over the different options in their head. How they're feeling is very dreamy, very fantasy-like, fantastical in their thinking. I think this person is very motivated to make something work with you, to figure something out, to take steps towards a new beginning. And as I say that, the Six of Swords underneath the Death card. Death is, of course, an energy not usually representative of actual death, but of moving forward, transformation, transitional change, endings and beginnings. And with that Six of Swords, also an energy of moving forward. This person is focused on, as I said, just almost it feels like team building. And we have the Three of Pentacles on the bottom here, but they're very much minded in the energy of collaboration and creativity coming together. And again, I do think they want to make some major changes and shifts to their life to ultimately promote this ability to move forward together. They're thinking heavily on this. They're feeling very dreamy, very daydreamy, very lovey, but they're not revealing any of it. This Temperance energy is sort of what's at the core of it all. But outwardly, what's presenting is the Emperor, somebody who's very steadfast in their convictions and who's, I think, trying to do the right thing, to be very honorable, I'm hearing. The King of Pentacles is also a very grounded, stable, honorable, supportive energy. This is very much the energy of someone who is committed to somebody else, pile 1. So how they're feeling about things right now is not necessarily too great because they're not making any decisions and they're sort of, very self-focused. But I would say in terms of what their intentions are. Their intentions are certainly to make some changes and to bring things forward to a higher level, a higher state of being between you. Let's get some oracle to also round things out. This is the Oracle of the Seven Energies deck. We have Bearing Fruit, card number 12. Let's make sure you can see that, and you can. And we have Seeing Beyond, card 36. So yeah, they're able, you know, with this Lovers and Seven of Cups energy, I'm feeling like your person can very much envision a life with you. Like, even though this hasn't ever reached a certain level of tangibility in the 3D, I think this person is very much centered and focused on what they can see beyond the current state of things. This is a very, very idealistic person. This could be a water sign for a lot of you. You know, again, there's just a lot of emotional energy tied to this here. And with this Bearing Fruit card, you know, again, it reduces down to the energy of 3. And this is about, once more, that cooperating energy of creativity, collaboration. We have the Empress, which is a number 3, and the 3 of Pentacles. So they're very like connection minded, relationship minded, but not just about being together and having that connection, but actually growing and again, bearing fruit, having something into being together, really developing something solid and real and foundational in the 3D. Let's get some more oracle for you. The Queen of the 5 Elements oracle we'll use. Ooh, we have some flyers out. We have Moving Forward, another energy synonymous with that 6 of Swords. So this person is focused on moving forward. Now, while that may look independent right now, they're still definitely very driven, especially with this Flames energy. They haven't lost their passion for you. It feels like instead of feeling badly about the state of the connection, they're just very optimistically minded on making things better, on improving things. So let's see what else we can get. More information about how this person is feeling about the state of things between you. How are they feeling specifically about pile 1? How is pile 1's person feeling about the viewer? Pile 1. We have the 8 of Cups. There's a strong message coming in with that they feel you've moved on. So they feel very disappointed or saddened at the 5 of Coins, feeling shut out, feeling like it's kind of over for right now. They don't feel good enough. They feel like either you have moved forward or you should. One of the two. Judgment and the Moon. Quite honestly, their feelings about you are a little occluded right now. I do think they're having some big sort of upgrades from spirit, some realizations about things, tapping into intuition, but I'm also getting in tandem with this sort of a slight element of fear, and again, that confusion, that lack of mental clarity. Why is there confusion here? What's going on with this? The 10 of Cups, again, because of that family unit. They'd have to end something with this 10 of Swords in order to pursue what truly makes them happy. All of these are indications, these 10s are not only about family, but they're also about emotional fulfillment, abundance, and the completion of cycles. So this person knows that they would have to end something and really be concretely clear in that intention before they can come back towards you. And I think that's why they've shut themselves out or maybe moved on. They also feel, though, that you've either moved on or should be moving on. And it's feeling very low about the connection in regards to you. How are they actually feeling, though, about pile 1, the person? The Page of Pentacles, wanting to give you an offer. The Sun, happiness, fulfillment, joy. Very positive feelings. The Queen of Cups, beautiful. Yep. A lot of love here. 6 of Wands, wanting success with you. Just feeling you are like the best, the absolute best. So there's no lack of love where this situation is concerned, pile 1. I think, again, the only main issue that we're having is in regards to this person's sort of outside 3D circumstances that are impacting their ability to move forward towards you. And they're just feeling pretty stuck, pretty, I wouldn't say hopeless, I wouldn't go that far, but it definitely is an energy of feeling limited in their capabilities right now of what they can bring to the connection. Get a few of these Moonology manifestation cards. embrace the flow of life, full moon in Gemini. I do think this is what they're trying to do. And that's why they've also shifted focus away from relationships, all of them, including the person that they may be with. And they're really just focused on improving self. You know, again, as I said, they're very self-focused. They're very minded on perhaps business, career, job prospects, earning money, maybe even developing hobbies, learning new skills. It's where they feel most powerful. Full moon in Scorpio, breathe through the tension. And reflect on your priorities. Last quarter moon in Aquarius. So we've got this air energy, double air energy. This person is very much a critical thinker. They're up in their head quite often. There's a lot of mental acuity going on surrounding this connection as well. Remember how I mentioned with the Seven of Cups, lots of sevens also presenting in this reading, which is the number of divinity. So I think they're trying as best they can to kind of tap into source energy and really feel their way into the situation. And they can be quite dreamy, but it's more of an unrealistic, wishy-washy nature. It's not really grounded emotion that has practical action behind it. It's more so the kind that, again, is unrealistic. It's unfounded. It's not going to go anywhere. Cups are beautiful energies, but they have to be accompanied by something more practical and real, such as wands or pentacles. If not, you're just not going to see a lot of flow. So with this, I think they're really trying to be in their headspace as much as possible, but at the same time, embracing the flow of life, pursuing their own interests, their own things that are going to light them up, make them feel better. You know, instinctively, they're seeking alignment, right? Their situation hasn't been happy. They haven't been enjoying life for quite some time, perhaps because of this other person, and they recognize that you give them more fulfillment than anything. But I think that because of the state of the connection, they choose not to focus there. And instead, they're focusing on their own life. They're reflecting, kind of sorting through their own priorities. And this is helping them to work through a lot of what they're holding inside, a lot of this tense energy. I also think, obviously, if there's a third party, this other party likely doesn't know about you. And so with scorpionic energy, which is always an energy of secrecy and things being hidden and not revealed, I definitely think that this person is keeping everything bottled up. And the only way that they sort of have to release it is to kind of focus those efforts and that energy into other projects. So it's not clear to me whether you're in a state of connect or disconnect. I'm inclined to think that probably some of you, at least a good portion watching this pile, are in disconnect or separation. Because again, this person doesn't feel very good about themselves or about how the connection has been going lately, but they just feel very optimistic about you. And I think also optimistic about their life as a whole. It's like everything about their life, they're getting into a good state, into a good flow of things, with the exception of the person that they're with. It's kind of like they just aren't ready to address the energy of that relationship yet. So things remain a bit stuck. Let's go ahead and just take a quick peek at what their intentions are for the connection between the two of you. In light of how they're currently feeling, the current energy, I want to know from Spirit, what are their likely next intentions, or, short-term intentions for the connection? Can we expect anything from this person? Will you hear from them? Is anything going to occur? We have joy, coldness, nurture. This tells me here that they're going to be more self-focused once again, kind of seeking their joy where they can. And then 2 cards about breathing. So again, this person's really taking a lot of time independently and individually to reflect. So I don't think you're necessarily going to see any big shifts coming from them anytime soon, but just know that they really have it in their mind. They really want and feel a lot of potential abundance with you. There's so much love here. It's so deep, and I think it's something that they just can't let go of. They can't release it, and they haven't, even though they may have physically walked away. Don't forget, we also had this Page of Pentacles energy come out with the Sun. This is somebody who just feels so beautiful and radiant energy about you, and they want to give something to you of substance and value. They want to be that person in your life. They want success with you. They want to be at your level, and right now it doesn't feel like that's the case. So ooh, cards flying all over the place. What does this person want with pile 1? What do they want to have happen in the connection? Even though they can't take action right now, what is it that they're wanting to happen? The uncharted sea. So they want, this is telling me this has never fully gotten off of the ground. Again, it also reduces down to a number 10. So the energy of something completing so that they can explore something new with you. Waking the lion, again, about stepping into power, and it reduces to yet again another number 10. So taking charge and a burst of magic. So this is an energy that reduces down to 12, which also reduces further down to number 3, and 3s have been super significant to this reading. And a burst of magic. So this is the lotus flower, and lotus flowers actually grow in mud, and there's like a symbology surrounding that you know, mud, of course, is not a very, it's not a very pleasant element. It's necessary though, and you know, out of something that seemingly lacks potential and doesn't seem to have much purpose and certainly isn't visually appealing, comes this beautiful, abundant flower that's just absolutely gorgeous and representative of so much abundance. And as it says right here, a burst of magic. So what they'd like to have with you, and I think ultimately what they're feeling that they are called to do and want to work towards, is having a beginning with you. A beginning for the first time for a lot of you is what I'm getting. Having that magic, being able to feel free to explore, to step into their power. And there's a lot of passion and drive and like inspired action associated with that lion energy as well. I definitely think that that's what they're feeling right now. So let's go ahead and check the time. Pretty good. We're going to keep this shorter today. Let's get some advice for you, some guidance and insight for pile 1, please, and how they can best work with the energies presenting in this connection for their highest good. Support them on their ascension path, please. Plant yourself here. Integration, embodiment, and grounded action. So this is about self-focus as well, sort of attending to your own garden, pile 1. Healing is happening. You're not broken. Trust the process, and it's safe to soften. So for this, I'm thinking definitely with healing is happening, you are needing to trust more and lean into the process of what is. Be receptive to it. Surrender to it. It's safe to soften. Trust in both yourself as well as the universe. You know, you can trust your feelings. You can trust the direction of your life right now, even if it's not all fully coming together yet and making sense. Nothing is broken or sort of nothing is broken, and nothing has been disseminated, and it's not irretrievably, you know, disintegrated is what I'm getting. Very strong emotions of like destructive energy and just feeling like everything is a full lost cause. This is saying that you can trust in the fact that things are continuing to unfold in divine timing, that the healing is happening and everything is aligning perfectly, the circumstances for this connection to move forward when it is ready. And whispers of Mother Earth, creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, and channel. So once again, with this kind of nod to creativity, this is definitely about attending to your own, could be material needs, your physical world, but also tapping into that inner creativity, that inner artist and divine spirit that you are. I think that's, of course, creativity is how we connect directly to source energy. It's when we're the most in alignment. And I think that you have a very like artist-minded focus. You probably do something that's very creative for a job, or that's a hobby of yours, something that occupies a lot of your time. Continue to work with that, because I think that that's actually helping to free up a lot of resistance and get some of that stagnant energy flowing into something different. Now, energy is always evolving and always changing, so we're never truly stuck. But I think this is what's helping to elevate you to a higher vibrational level, so that the energy that comes in next can be different, can change, and can prompt perhaps in the future something more unique to happen with regard to this situation. Right now in the present, your person's feeling a need to self-preserve. They're definitely feeling a little bit insecure about the connection, but you know, we have at the bottom of the deck here, Sophia, divine plan, wisdom, intelligence within, and destiny. You have to trust that what's meant for you will never pass you by. It is always ready and waiting for whenever you are ready to let it in. So nothing is lost. All is always well. This person, I would say, your person of interest, pile 1, definitely feels wonderful, big feelings for you, but just isn't too happy with, of course, the state of the connection. And instead of being practically minded at this point in the steps and sort of action-oriented phase of making things better, they're more so still dreaming it up and creating it in their mind. So creativity is huge here in this pile, but you both can sort of mirror that energy and create the lives that you want to see unfold before you. in your own independent energies right now first. So pile one, I so hope that that has been of help to you, provided you with some clarity. It's been such an honor to read for you today. Hope to see you again for a future reading. If you have enjoyed this reading and have not yet subscribed, please feel free to do so. That really helps the channel to grow. And until next time, I'm sending you so much abundant, loving energy as you work through these energies of your situation and your connection. And I hope you take great care. Bye-bye. Hey Pile 2, welcome to your reading today. I'm so happy to have you here sharing space. You have chosen probably one of my favorite tarot decks, the Tarot de Carlotydes, today. This reading, we're going to be taking a look at not only your person's feelings for you, but also regarding the connection and specifically the current state that the connection is in. So I intend this reading always to be speaking to the current energetic place where the connection resides. So whether that's a state of connect or disconnect, things can be going wonderfully, or you can be in separation with no contact whatsoever. It's just going to apply to everybody. We'll see what comes out for your person with this pile. Pile 1 was a very specific storyline. I always like to start with tarot, and in this case, I'm going to begin with a situational sort of context spread to get an idea of the current situation between you, the current energy, to help you know if you've chosen the right pile. While I am shuffling, go ahead and set your own intention for the reading, that you are open, ready, and willing to receive all of the messages that are going to present from Source. And if you feel guided to as well, go ahead and select a sign. That's just anything at all that's going to help to affirm and anchor those messages that you receive once you see that sign, to help you really take them in as your own when you encounter them. You also will usually see a sign that you ask for, not only in the readings where you ask for them, but in other areas of your life as well. It's just a very clear and direct way that Spirit can sort of play with us and help to, bring things to our awareness and attention. It's really wonderful, actually, very magical. So for you, pile 2, we're going to take a look at your person of interest, and we're going to start by getting, again, just an energetic snapshot of where things currently sit with regard to your connection. Can we get some context, Spirit, on what's currently going on in this connection? We have the Magician energy for you, the Queen of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Seven of Cups. I'm feeling guided to just take one more, so I'm going to. We have the Five of Wands. This is a very eclectic array of energies for you, pile 2. Let's get some clarifiers as well out on the table. We have El Sol, the Sun. And this is going to drive me nuts, so let me just go ahead right away and make this a little bit straighter for us. Very good. For the Queen of Swords, we have the Queen of Cups. Interesting. We have the Eight of Swords for the King of Pentacles. This is somebody who's stuck, who can't move forward. Very rooted, and I'm hearing almost stuck in their ways, stubborn. Very fixed energy with that earth sign coming out. You could be dealing with an earth sign, or someone who just has a lot of earth energy somewhere in their placements. That would be Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn energy. We have the World for the Seven of Cups, as well as the Page of Wands for the Five of Wands. Underlying energy that supports the overall theme of the reading is the Star. So the current state of energy between you, I think, is very dreamy. A lot of times it feels wonderful. We have the Seven of Cups with the World clarifying. This is an energy of just being on top of the world, feeling like everything is wonderful. This is your ideal person, and vice versa. But as I'm seeing, there's not a lot going on in the material world. There's not a lot of progress being had. This person, to be clear, has amazing feelings for you, a huge amount of positive energy with this Magician as well as the Sun coming out. This person sees so much value in even being connected to you at any level. They see, though, two sides to you, which quite honestly is making it a little bit difficult for them to commit, if I'm being quite honest. We have the Queen of Swords first and foremost, which is the energy of somebody who can be very cutting and cold and who can literally cut people out. It's also an energy of someone who's very much up in their headspace, who could be overthinking, maybe leading into a situation with anxiety, so anxious, overwhelmed energy. And either way, it's just somebody who kind of is judging and critiquing the situation more with that critical mind versus leaning into their intuitive body, their intuitive self, which I think is another aspect of who they see in you. And that's the side that they really want to get to know more, and the side that they feel most comfortable with is this Queen of Cups, which is the energy of like harmony, loving, caring, nurturing energy, very compassionate. But I just think there's been a level of instability in the connection where things cannot stay consistent. I'm also seeing that with this Five of Wands energy presenting. Fives in tarot obviously always reference either tension, arguments, difficulties, but also challenges and transformation, moving on from things. So with that, especially with this Page of Wands, an energy that could indicate someone who's very impulsive or immature. I'm just seeing kind of like a back and forth tit for tat energy where sometimes things are wonderful and at other times they're sort of like on the outs. There's frequent arguments or spats or breakups and getting back together. And ultimately what's central to this spread is that nothing can move forward concretely in the 3D with this King of Pentacles because they don't trust it and because they're leading in with a lot of anxiety, which I think some of it is being fed off of your anxious energy and the fact that there is such a just generally unstable nature to the connection itself. However, we have the Star presenting also, which is the energy of optimism and positivity, healing as well. So if your person has other things that are holding them back aside from just this connection itself and the experiences they're having within it, it does look like there is healing on the horizon with that. This person is working through fears and different difficulties and challenges that they're experiencing. Very strong third-party energy here, but this is different from pile one. This is not the energy of a person to me. Third-party energy can just be anything that represents a challenge, obstacle, burden, or barrier, a blockage, whatever, what have you, that presents as, essentially something to disrupt the flow of energy in a connection. And that's definitely indicated here with this Eight of Swords. So let's get a little bit more information on that. What else do we need to know about the current state of the connection between these two people, please, for pile two? The Ace of Swords. This is frequent arguments, but also communication. So I think there's communication in all regards. There's times when you're with Ten of Swords where there's endings, but then there's also clarity coming in and new beginnings and opportunities to, grow together. We have Four of Swords. So things could currently be in a period of pause, not much happening, or maybe everything is quite stable in the connection. That'll kind of look a little different for everybody. The Eight of Cups, for some of you, this person is contemplating or has already contemplated making a move. Now, whether that's towards you or away from you, it remains to be seen. Again, it has to do with the individual energies in your connection. And the Queen of Pentacles, ultimately, though, just seeing such value and worth in you. Like, this is seeing a potential spousal energy, feeling like you could be the one, What is this Eight of Cups here for? The King of Wands. So they're contemplating making a move. So it's towards you in a lot of cases. Yep. So the Page of Cups, definitely thinking about making an offer to you. But right now they're not taking action. They're really holding themselves back. It always just feels like needing to take a rest, needing to take a break, feeling overwhelmed easily, especially at an emotional level. They've experienced a lot of like either loss or difficulty, painful circumstances in their life, especially as it relates to romantic energy. This person just has experienced a lot of painful endings is what I'm getting. And even though the truth here, the reality of the situation shows them that you are somebody who's different and unique and really could be the real thing for them, I just think they have a hard time leaning into and trusting that energy. As passionate as they feel towards you, they definitely come in with a lot of sexy energy, a lot of passion and desire for you. But again, it lacks any kind of like groundedness in the 3D with that King of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. This person just can't stabilize it in the real world. We also have coming out here the Eight of Wands. What is the Eight of Wands here for? It's the energy of movement and communication. They want to, strong message here that they want to and they feel almost ready to start revealing their feelings at a deeper level. I think they've gotten very close a few times and have ultimately opted not to, but it's not without wanting to. They definitely feel very big energy here around their emotions. The King of Cups is someone who is extremely expressive and emotive when they feel like it. The rest of the time, with all that big energy and those big emotions that they possess, they kind of hold that and bury it down deep. It's Scorpionic energy, and Scorpios are always about hiding and keeping secrets, and so they reserve a lot of this. They hold it within and they don't choose to share it and reveal it, but that could be changing as well. So let's get a few oracle cards and see what other information we need to know about the current state of energy, the current state of the connection. Beautiful uncaging. Oh my goodness, that looks amazing. So this person wants to open up their heart to you. Look at how the key is already in the lock, ready to unlock, ready to open. Time machine. I think this person really has a lot to sort out with their past. It's almost like they think, if I could just go back in time and redo things, or if I could just have made it turn out different, then I would be feeling better and I'd be better in this current, time and space, this current energy. Exposed and revealed. There's lots of number 3s also coming out for you. So we have the energy of the time machine, which is an actual number 3. Exposed and revealed is reducing down to the energy of 3. I think they see the nature of this connection, how special it is, how much potential it holds, and just really want to awaken fully to it and be expressive with it, to allow themselves to just surrender and feel free to express themselves and enjoy it and feel into it with their entire body, with their whole heart and soul. Exposed and revealed, though, they feel hesitant to do that. That's very uncomfortable for them. So they keep it locked up. They keep it in a cage. But they want to open it. That key, again, is right there. They want to do that. Okay. So now let's go ahead and take a look how your person is actually feeling about the connection itself, the current state of the connection, where things sit with regard to the connection, the energy between you at present. How are they feeling about that? The Two of Cups. So they feel a really nice synergy between you, a really beautiful energy. The Three of Swords, though, I think they know that they're not showing up as well as they could be. Hierophant, yeah, because they're ultimately not giving the full extent of themselves that they know they could, that they want to. The Seven of Wands. This is feeling very resistant. And the Queen of Wands. It's like, as much as they feel guided because of this beautiful Two of Cups energy to keep coming forward and revealing and just allowing you to experience even more of themselves, they know that ultimately they're not ready for a commitment, and this is something you definitely want. And the Seven of Wands, they're just so resistant to that. They just can't, whether past heartbreak or knowing that it's hurting you, that they can't commit and be together with you. I just see this as, like, again, another aspect of loss that they're having trouble managing and dealing with, is like the disappointments of not being able or feeling enabled, and also assured and confident enough to take this connection to the next level where they'd like it to be. Look at how also the Seven of Wands person is situated on stilts. So they have a higher perspective and a higher view than what others can see at ground level. And yet it's like they're just hesitant. They're hesitant to bring this down, to ground it, to really make it stable and real. The Knight of Cups, exactly. They'd love to come forward and just reveal their whole hand. But to do that, I just think that they're not in a position where they feel like they can completely unleash and let go and reveal themselves like that. They've done it before. They've given their absolute all to a situation, to a connection, and they just can't do that again. The Hermit energy is them reflecting and really getting in touch with spirit. The Hierophant and the Hermit are both very, very strong spiritual energies. They're energies of connecting to that inner wisdom within, that inner work that's needed and necessary to heal, to move forward, to attain a higher spiritual perspective. It's definitely happening, and you are prompting this. The connection to you is definitely making this happen. The Seven of Swords for the Seven of Wands. Lots of sevens coming out, a number of divinity, also learning, knowledge seeking. But the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands, they're very avoidant, very, very resistant. But ultimately, again, they feel such big energy with you, so much potential happiness, and yet they're not fulfilling what they would love to do with you. So instead, they're very stuck. They're very sad about the state of things, because they know that there's so much more. Look at how they're just at 5 cups, and they know that 10 cups are possible. And so they're at 50% capacity with the cups. They could have more happiness, more joy and fulfillment, and instead they're just staying in this energy that's persisting a state of loss, or a state of disconnect and resistance and limitedness, and it doesn't make them feel very good. Let's get a few Queen of the 5 Elements Oracle cards here. We have blossoming. So this person wants to, again, allow things to flow, but coldness. They're very, very stuck. They have to feel very secure, and I think that they're very deeply rooted in the current energy that they're in. We had that King of Pentacles come out earlier. This is somebody who's very, almost stubborn, you know, to a fault. They're stuck in almost like a routine, or it could be viewed to some as a rut. It's just a very, you know, consistent way of living that doesn't really allow for a lot of new experiences and abundance, but it offers, you know, in this coldness, I just see security, safety, and that's just been comfortable for them. Let's get a few also from the Moonology deck. Last quarter moon in Aries, work through your feelings. We have last quarter moon in Virgo, attend to the details. There's a lot of independent energies right now. How they're feeling is just a need to focus on self. Yep, exactly. Make time for self-love, which is the last quarter moon in Libra. This person just needs to feel more secure in their own energy before they can open themselves up to commit. And I don't think they even feel secure with themselves entirely right now. And so it's obviously translating into the connection. And so they're not having the greatest feelings about the state of the connection either, because they know it can be so much more. Whenever I see this Be Humble card, it always makes me think of needing to take pause for a reflection and appreciation of things, thankfulness. And I do think that they are very appreciative of you, but I think that they sometimes are so self-focused that they fail to see things more from your end or your side. And that does help to create this sort of dissonance between you, this disconnect energetically where you're not on the same frequency entirely or the same page, to where you could work through things and bring this forward together collaboratively. I think this is a very lone wolf energy, somebody who's very much on their own, and chooses, you know, to do so, to be in that energy most often of the time. So I want to ask, based upon how they're feeling in the connection at this current time, what are their most likely intentions and next actions going forward over the next few months? What are those next actions and intentions over the next few months? Pile 2's person. The 6 of Pentacles, you know, continue to try and show up as much as they can. The Wheel of Fortune, trying to shift, making big shifts and changes. 9 of Cups, though, pretty self-focused still. The Ace of Cups. So maybe gaining some strength and some ability to start a new beginning with you. The 3 of Pentacles, to come together in something real and tangible. It's going to take a lot of energetic momentum, though, with this Wheel of Fortune. That wheel has to shift big before they can start to be in the, you know, the giving mode. They've been very much on the receiving end, and very self-focused in their own energy, but it's time for them to give. And I think they feel that, they want to, that's their inclination, is to come together with you in love, have this new beginning, or a beginning overall, if that's never happened, and to really begin to reciprocate, to shift the balance of the scale. So instead of always, again, being the one that's on the receiving end, they want to be the one that starts to give to you also. A couple more cards here before we get guidance for you. We have healing the heart. Absolutely. It's also another number 5, which references, again, challenge, but also higher learning and transformation. They want to transform. They're healing their heart. The power of purpose. It's a work in progress is what I'm getting. You know, their intentions are really to get better. And the reason being is because of this uncharted sea. They want to, you know, this is a common energy that came out in pile 1. So the theme of this was wanting to really explore what hasn't already been discovered and experienced, enjoyed with you. They want to kind of set out on that new adventure. It's going to take time though. Again, they're healing. But with feeling the world, I love this. This is about really stepping into their power and putting themselves out there. The world they can have in the palm of their hand and really experience everything that they'd want to with you and in life. But this person just right now remains very sheltered, very kind of introverted, and again, stuck in their ways. So their intentions for the most part are to, I think, just continue to heal, reflect independently, focus on self, but their ultimate intentions or their desires, what they'd like to have is to have that beginning with you, to begin something really new and exciting. They feel it. Let's go ahead and get some advice for pile 2, please. What do they need to know? Advice and insight or guidance on how they can best move forward and support themselves and support this connection and these energies, these current energies. What is the guidance for pile 2, please? We have the Mystic Rose, compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, and grace. So offering this person a degree of compassion, maybe leaning more into that Queen of Cups energy that you're often in, that side of you that they love so much that they see some of the time. Just having empathy for the situation, seeing it from all sides. The Great Mother, surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms. This is about releasing expectations, surrendering to what is, and appreciating the moment in the present without any sort of, again, attachment to what is to come. We have the Fertile Void. So this, to me, these two together is about just accepting it for what it is and just trusting the process that things are going to flow when they're meant to. Inner Winter, rest, patience, potency, secret beginnings. So again, things are changing perhaps at an energetic level with the secret beginnings, but it's going to take some patience, and potency is about developing that concentrated sort of energy before it's really palpable. So it's a need to rest, to have that patience and just allow these things to flow and develop in their own divine timing. You may not see it all right now, but it's saying surrender to the mystery of it all. And then the Return, a new story, you decide, alignment, it's coming together. So this is to say, you can have it if you want it and if you align yourself with it, if you get your energy into an energetic place, to a balanced state where it's allowed to flow, you can have that new story. It's up to you, literally you decide. It's all coming together. And you can have this beautiful energy between you and this person. So pile 2, I hope that has helped you, brought you some clarity. If it's your first time here, I implore you to please consider subscribing. It really helps the channel to grow. If you've been here before, or a returning viewer, thank you so much. I appreciate your continued desire to come share space with me, to connect. It's an honor and a joy always to read for you, to connect over your individual situation as much as I can collectively. And I just appreciate so much, again, you being here. I am sending you so much loving, abundant energy as you deal with these energies in your connection, hoping, of course, for a very favorable outcome for you. And until next time, pile 2, I hope you take great care. Bye-bye. Hey, pile 3. So happy to have you here with me today. You chose the Lucine Tarot, a beautifully independently created deck. This is actually one of 2 different editions that were made for this particular tarot, which is the Twilight edition. So it's lighter in coloration, very, very beautiful. Sort of a minimalist deck as well. And I love like the little celestial vibes. So gorgeous. Today we're going to be taking a look at your person's feelings, but not only how they are feeling about you or about the connection itself, but specific to the current state of energy that the connection is sitting in. So both piles 1 and 2 have been very different. I'm going to initially start with tarot and pull some context cards just to get an idea of your situation to determine if you have selected the right pile. And then from there, we're going to look at both your person's feelings for you, for the connection as a whole, and also just a little bit of a segue into if you can expect any action from them in the future. And then, of course, guidance as well. So while I am shuffling, go ahead and set your intention for this reading that you are open, willing, and ready to receive the insights from Spirit as they're about to present for you. Also, if you feel guided to, select a sign that you can keep in mind for this reading, as well as just in general in your life. So It's something that when you see it, it's going to be significant and meaningful to you, help you anchor and affirm any messages that you receive from Spirit that they are trying to communicate to you. It's always encouraged and recommended to select a sign. So let's start for pile 3, please. What is the current state of energy between pile 3 and their person of interest? What is the current energetic state of the connection, please? Starting with the tarot, we'll get lots of oracle as well to come out for us in a little bit. We first have the Page of Cups, which is a beautiful, beautiful energy. We also have the Devil, not so beautiful, but we'll figure out why that's there in a moment. We also have Death and the Six of Wands. I just want to make sure that these are pretty straight before I continue. That's super important to me. Just one moment, please. And we'll just do that so we have enough space. Here we go. It's interesting because the camera angle for me versus how it translates on the screen sometimes don't align. So that looks super crooked to my eye, but it looks straight for you guys, which is important. Now let's go ahead and clarify these energies, please, Spirit. We have the Ace of Cups for the Page of Cups, which is absolutely beautiful. The Ten of Pentacles for the Devil energy, which is like super bizarre here. Very, very polar opposite energies. We have a Jumper, which is the Hanged Man for Death. Oh boy, things can't flow in this connection. The Nine of Cups for the Six of Wands. Someone is very self-focused and is not very relationship-minded. They're sitting in a very immature energy with this Page of Wands, kind of the underlier. What I think is happening in your current connection, the current state of your connection rather, pile 3, is that this person that you're involved with is resisting spiritual transformation. They have surrendered a lot in their life, but I don't think that they're heeding the call from Spirit about this connection. This does feel like a very spiritual connection to me. And it's funny because I really don't have anything presenting here to indicate so for me. It's just intuitively what I'm getting. There's a lot of love here, but it stays very superficial, very surface level. The Page, of course, often represented children. They're the most underdeveloped energies in tarot of all of the court cards in the suits. And with the Ace of Cups as a clarifier, which is just the very beginning energy of love developing, I actually quite honestly think this is a relationship or a connection you've been involved in for quite some time, but it's yet to develop. It has been kind of sitting in this same, again, state of energy of young energy or new energy it's feeling, regardless of how long you've been connected. And I think it's because, again, your person is just very hesitant to sort of grow up and to rise to the occasion and to evolve and change and meet the energy of this connection where they would need to in order to transcend some of their current, when I'm hearing current behaviors, ways of living, for their soul expansion, basically, for alignment. They need to rise to a higher level, and they're not exactly doing that right now. So I think that for some of you, you may not be in contact with your person. I'm getting that from the Six of Wands as well as the Nine of Cups energy. Those are very self-focused, somewhat even conceited energies or self-absorbed energies. I don't think your person is really devoting a lot of time investing into this connection at present. Now, if that doesn't speak to your situation, no worries. There are 2 other piles you can feel free to check, or as well, there's lots of different readings and playlists you can peruse if this reading does not capture your energy at all today. No worries. But I'm definitely feeling like the case with this 3rd pile is somebody who's not up to a commitment phobe, or somebody who's just not there yet energetically, who's not able to rise to the occasion to really meet you halfway and make this real, even though it has some very beautiful, again, beginning, like loving energy to it. They're not taking it to the next level. What else can we find out here about this connection, this situation between pile 3 and their person? We have the Hierophant, The Nine of Pentacles, again, self-focus. This is a need to focus on self, but they're not doing it in the way that they need to. The Five of Cups. This person could be young in their life, chronologically speaking, or otherwise just young at heart, but they've experienced a lot of loss in their early life, and they're struggling to kind of overcome that or deal with that. And so, again, I think there's a strong call here to step into spirituality or to embrace, you know, a more aligned life that is at a higher level than what they're currently operating at. And I think there's been a lot of insistence from you in regards to this energy, but at the same time, I don't think that's where they're at. They're not able to meet you there. Nine of Pentacles is very self-focused energy. We have two of the nines come out. And I do think in general, this person is just very much singly minded, you know, self-focused energy of somebody who is, you know, quite frankly, just their own ideals, their own life, their pursuits, their goals are what are most important. It's not a relationship at this time. Even though they feel big energy, they feel very loving towards you, or like there's a lot of just beautiful, this is almost crush-like energy, that Page of Cups. You know, they feel that beautiful chemistry with you, but it's just not deep yet. It's not at a deep level. So let's see if there's anything else we need to know with the Oracle. This is the Oracle of the Seven Energies. I'll just pull a few. Pretty clear picture with this one. What else do we need to know about Pile 3's person and the state of how they're showing up in the connection? Into me, I see. Also a number 8, which references strength to me, which is this energy of independence, resilience, and then into me, I see, I just think, again, it's like a self-focused energy. Great big love. They have a big, beautiful heart, and they could really share a lot with you and have it be very abundant, a very abundant life or an abundant relationship. But it's all about timing, with respect to everybody, but especially with this person. There is some like literal real world growing up that needs to happen here, and a lot of spiritual ascension as well. Sacred reverence. You know, this person just needs to, they possess the key that unlocks everything, all of the abundance available to them, to open up their big, beautiful heart, as you can see there with the lock on that heart. There's all this earthly energy. So it's like the energy of groundedness amongst all these stars. They really do have the ability to be more stable and grounded and to bring something tangible and real to this connection. You know, but right now, I don't think that's where their focus is, unfortunately, Pile 3. So let's go ahead and see how your person is actually feeling about the state of the connection. How are they feeling about the current state of energy between you in this connection? Where things are presently, right now, how are they feeling about it? We have the Queen of Swords. I think someone's stuck more in their logical mind than in their feelings, quite honestly. We have the Two of Wands. Yeah. They try to approach this always from a very logical perspective instead of leaning into intuition. The High Priestess and the Chariot. Their intuition is strong, boy. They really, if they just took time to sit in quietness, meditate, just develop a little bit of spiritual awareness and practice, they would see. This person could almost be like psychic. They definitely have a very strong, they have a propensity, a potential to have a very strong connection to source. And they're very divinely guided. And I'm just getting a very strong sense that they could really tap into that energy at any time that is available to them. And yet at the same time, they really stay in their headspace quite often. They're not feeling a whole lot of anything because they're thinking about it, and they're trying to make a decision of some kind. And what is that decision? I don't think it's to commit, but I think it's to even allow themselves to feel into this energy and really explore it. The Five of Swords and Judgment. Yeah, do they want to wake up to and acknowledge the nature of this connection because they know it's special and it's real and it's something different? I don't know if they truly, it's almost like, do I want to open up Pandora's box? I kind of feel a little something, but I don't know if I want to explore it. It's kind of scary. It's overwhelming. I'm not sure. I kind of like it here in my headspace where it's logical. It makes sense to me. Lots of divine masculine energies are also very logical. So this isn't an issue in and of itself, but it's a common common problem. The King of Cups, this is just referencing to me that they do have a lot of feelings that they can possess within them. They have like a strong affinity for like children and animals. So they have like a very soft side to them, and they do show love. Like they're good at showing love to family members perhaps, or they may work in like a caregiver type field. This could be like a nurse, or if they're too young to have gone through schooling yet to be a nurse, this would be somebody who maybe volunteers or who's active in a church or youth group. It's just somebody who has like a very charitable or ministry minded or missionary minded sort of an energy to them, but yet they can't translate that into a romantic situation, to romantic love. This is a very specific storyline coming out. It's kind of interesting. And I also think because they may be very religious or kind of inclined to go more that way, or the family is, there's something about influence of surroundings. They stay more logical because their basis for belief system is religion already. And so spirituality doesn't always factor into that. Yeah, they're very rooted in their beliefs with the Emperor here. So quite honestly, what I'm seeing with this person, how they're feeling about it, there's not much emotion here. It's a lot of critical thinking and decision making and staying very firmly rooted in their belief systems, perhaps. Having so much, again, potential to go deeper with this if they would only connect to their intuitive, sense, that strong ability that they possess to connect to source. Then that would get things moving. But as it presents right now, how they're feeling about it, there's not a lot of depth here. Let's go ahead and get a few Queen of the Five Elements Oracle cards. We have Full Bloom, Letting Go. They'd have to let go to get things to full bloom, to come to fruition. But they'd also have to step into their intuition that's coming up over the High Priestess, and that's just not something they're prepared to do. Exactly. They have a lot of boundaries and barriers against that. And that's really impacting them even feeling the full amount of emotion that they would have otherwise about you and about the connection. To that point, I want to actually get a couple oracle cards as to how do they feel about you? How do they feel about the viewer? Pile 3. How does their person feel about them? Is it any different? Endless possibilities. So again, you could say they feel or they think a lot about this connection, but it's all from like a perspective of thinking about it, of viewing it logically speaking. Like, this could be a good person for me. There really could be a whole lot of potential here of things that could occur and the way it could go. A burst of magic. See, they know that there's something different about you, though. They definitely feel that, at least. This has come out in every single pile, I believe, today. The significance of the lotus, this even came out in a private reading I did earlier. The lotus flower grows in mud. So it grows in like these really kind of unpleasant conditions. Mud isn't something that we would look to as super abundant and beautiful or pleasing. But from that grows this beautiful, abundant, symbol of just expansion and growth. The lotus flower is a beautiful reminder and indicator of how some of the most magical things can come from nothing, so they see that. They see the potential. And the oracle's gift, again, this is like the cup, I think, of the Ace of Cups here, and that came out in the beginning. It's like there really could be so much. There's a cup of love just waiting to be explored here. There is this energy of, somebody who feels the beginning stirrings of love but doesn't allow themselves to dive deeper than that. That's what I'll say. And I want to get a few Moonology manifestation cards as well. We're going to go ahead and ask, in light of how they're feeling about everything, what are their current intentions? Go deeper. New moon in Scorpio. What can you expect from them perhaps within the next few months? Go deeper, but is that into themselves? Breathe through the tension. I think it is. And I think it's going to be, we have both scorpionic energies. They're going to be trying to release some of this tension. I don't know if they're going to be necessarily feeling into their intuitive self too much yet, but they're definitely going to be releasing at a practical level. Maybe like a lot of mental fatigue and exhaustion that they're having, overthinking, analyzing. Full moon in Aquarius, which is an air sign, a sign of logic and reasoning. It says be real. I think be real is honestly like coming to terms with their feelings that they know are already stirring within them and beginning to develop, and just being like, you know what, I have to just lean into how I'm feeling and trust it and flow with it. But I think that's really hard for this person. Yeah. A lot of earth energy here as well with this full moon in Taurus, detoxify. So they need to really release a lot of this baggage. Remember, they've had a lot of like painful experiences early on in life, or a lot of things that have distorted their perception, their belief system, their line of thinking. I do think for some of you, this could be sort of like toxic religion or something to do with family having a heavy influence, especially if this is a younger person. They need to really detoxify that and release that. Go deeper within and like get real with who they truly are, because again, they're a very spiritual being and they just don't realize it. They would need to connect more deeply. This reading is kind of going in a slightly different direction than the other two piles of what I intended today, but it's like expanding upon why they feel or lack thereof about the connection, the current state it's in. They're viewing everything through a different lens than what they should be. So in light of that, I want to get guidance for you. Do we want to get guidance yet? Let me check the time here. Yeah, let's go ahead and get guidance for you, pile 3, on your person. This is definitely a very interesting situation. I'm going to get guidance both from tarot and oracle. So what else do we need to know about this person and their intentions or their feelings for the querent, the viewer? What do you want to tell us about this person? The Star. You can have hope that they will eventually, I think, get it together. They'll eventually come into their own. Right now they're struggling, but they're just learning. They're on like their training wheels. There's a bit of a wait, you know, there's going to be some time and effort needed here of patience, focus, but they will transmute these energies, and there is hopefulness that they will step into this more spiritual lifestyle that'll help them to embrace the fullness of this connection. That's beautiful. Now let's get guidance for you. Guidance for pile 3, please, on how they can best move through and support the energies of this connection for their highest good. What is the guidance and insight for pile 3, please? We have the Bud, potential, promise, it's about to happen, and keep going. So once again, I think in line with this tarot we pulled for guidance, this person has a lot of potential. I don't think they treat you, necessarily poorly or anything. I just think it's very superficial. It's very low level, laid back. There's just not a lot of depth there. But they're a good person and they have a lot of potential and promise within them. So if you feel guided to, you can absolutely trust in that and allow that to unfold in divine timing. After the rain, silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, it's over, and acceptance. So for me here, this is all about the energy of, again, hopefulness, that there is potential, especially with that star energy coming out. This person really has the ability to step into this energy of just fully embracing this connection, embracing their spiritual self. Yeah, right now they're in development. Codes of the seeds. Look at how this looks like, embryonic energy. Somebody is like in a state of flux or growth before they emerge. It's like incubation. The blueprint is within you. Take the next step. The guidance for you also with that card is that you possess a lot of potential as well. I think that you may be more spiritually evolved than them, but there's more for you to attain as well. So focus on self. This is on the bottom of the deck. The sacred union, beloved within, inner and outer relationships. I think that's important for both of you. Before you can develop this outer relationship between you, you both have to sort of get into and feel, within the energies of yourselves and grow spiritually at independent levels on individual evolutionary paths. You can then come back together and things will, I think blossom. We had that, this full bloom card, this beautiful card of the energy of everything expanding and coming into fruition, coming into being. So pile 3, I so hope you've enjoyed this reading today and that it's brought you some clarity. I have so enjoyed sharing time and space with you to connect today. It is a great honor always to do so. If you haven't already subscribed, I implore you to please consider doing that. It really makes a world of difference to my channel, the growth and expansion of what I'm trying to achieve here on YouTube. And I'm sending you so much loving, abundant energy as you work through the energies in this connection, hoping, of course, for you a very favorable outcome, very hopeful and optimistic in the future. And until next time, pile 3, I hope you take great care. Bye-bye.